Okay, in our last session, we thought about the importance of an open mind. If we haven't got an open mind, then we're not going to be able to follow the evidence if it takes us to conclusions that don't fit with our preconceived ideas. So it's okay to be biased, it's okay to think, to be suspicious about it, but as you look at the evidence, allow the evidence to dictate the conclusion. So, in other words, if you don't believe in God, if you say, there's no God, then of course, whatever the evidence suggests, even if it points to the resurrection, you'll say, but there's no God and resurrections are impossible, therefore that's not even an option. But if God is a possibility, if there is God, then of course resurrections are possible. And so you need to have an open mind to the possibility of God in order to assess the evidence. Without that openness of mind, then you cannot conclude that the resurrection took place, no matter what the evidence. So, have an open mind. In this session, we're thinking about not so much the evidence for the resurrection and for the Easter story, but really what it's about and why it's important. And so in this session, we're thinking really about two things, two claims that Jesus made. Number one, that he was the king of a kingdom, and number two, that he would die and rise again to establish this kingdom. So we're going to look at two verses from the Bible, or two passages from the Bible. So listen up to what this says. It's important stuff. This is where Jesus is being questioned by Pilate. Pilate is the governor over Jerusalem, and he's a Roman, and he is the one who will execute Jesus if Jesus is found guilty. So Pilate is questioning Jesus. We read in John chapter 18 from verse 33. Pilate then went back inside the palace and summoned Jesus and asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "Is that your own idea?" Jesus asked. "Or did others talk to you about me?" "Am I a Jew?" Pilate replied. "It was your people and your chief priests who handed you over to me. What is it you have done?" Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jews. But now my kingdom is from another place." "You are a king then," said Pilate. Jesus answered, "You are right in saying I am a king. In fact, for this reason I was born, and for this reason I came into the world to testify to the truth." That is, to testify to the truth that he is the king of a kingdom. "Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." "What is truth?" Pilate asked. And then again, in the Gospel of Luke, we read this. Luke from chapter 18, from verse 31. Jesus took the 12 aside and told them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and everything that is written by the prophets about the Son of Man," that's code for himself, "will be fulfilled. He will be handed over to the Gentiles," that's like the Greeks. "They will mock him, insult him, spit on him, flog him, and kill him. On the third day, he will rise again." The disciples did not understand any of this. So in those passages, we can see that Jesus claimed to be the king of a kingdom. But you'll remember when he was speaking to Pilate, he made it clear. He said, "My kingdom is not of this world." So he's the king of a kingdom, but not one of this world. And he predicted that he would go up to Jerusalem, that he would be spat upon and persecuted and eventually crucified, but that he would rise again. And that resurrection is important because a dead king cannot rule over a kingdom. And so we're going to think very briefly over the in the next session about what Jesus' kingdom is like. But in this session, I just wanted to establish why this is important. It's important because Jesus claimed to be the king of a kingdom that he was raised from the grave in order to rule over.